Good morning, Internet.
My name is Janet.
And my name is Marcus. And together we are
Afriropa.
Afriropa, yes.
Is it a good afternoon?
It is a good afternoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Despite the rainy season right now, it looks beautiful, yes.
It's a beautiful weather, but we may get some rains later in the afternoon. Looks
I
like it.
guess it's very humid, yes, it's very humid. Yeah.
So now today's topic is internet and its craze.
The internet craze?
Yes, and my question in this regard is, should we expose the whole of our lives, our children's lives, our family's life, out there in the internet for people to see and discuss it and know us even in the innermost of our issues? Should it be known out there in the internet?
Well, we can make this a very short video. No, and no.
Why do you think that when people are making money out of their families, out of their young children, or they give back to them?
Well, I mean, I'm always coming back to a comparison I made years ago when people, at that time, it was all about Facebook. And I mean, I understand, of course, the appeal of Facebook and social media in general, that you want to share the beautiful moments in your life. That's for sure. I can totally understand that. I get that. So, yet, if you are sharing through social media, so we are not talking about the internet in general. We are talking about
social media. Yes.
Right? Okay. Yeah. So if we are sharing our information through social media, it is we are giving our data out of our own hands. So we are not the master of our data anymore. So, and the comparison the image I was using basically when aunties and uncles and whatever came years, oh, you're not publishing anything on Facebook. What about your children? Why can't I see your kids' faces on Facebook? That's what it's for, isn't it? Yeah, I understand what it's for, but I'm not going to do that. Would you go ahead and take your photo album that probably your parents made for you when you were a child, and would you go ahead and take all those photos out or make copies of them and then pin them on a lamppost so that everybody can see them?
Would you do that?
And of course they just shaking heads and say, why would I want to do anything like that? That's crazy, that's my private life. And my answer to that one then simply was, you see? Yeah, so that's basically what it is. Of course, you can now argue and say, yes, but you can go ahead and you can create a private space in forums like Facebook or whatever it is. It doesn't matter really. You can create a private space, yeah, and within this private space, you can only let people enter whom you give access to the pictures or whatever.
Yeah, because you have to make a friend's request anyway. But I was looking at it on the basis of money making. With YouTube, you are paid and you make a very nice video of your young daughter, beautiful young daughter, jumping up and down, your young boy, growing up and riding those toys, and people want to see beauty. People, by the way, people have a liking for children, and people are just getting children these days and exposing them to the world just to make money out of it.
Let me just finish one argument and then I will answer, because they both arguments go hand in hand.
Yes.
Okay, so what I was saying is that so you wouldn't publish anything, and even if it is even if you create a private space to invite people to, yes, still you are handing over your personal data, your personal life.
Yes.
You are handing that information over, that data over to a big company that is monetizing it. So it's not. It's not that you are using their services. It's the opposite way around.
It's them that are using my content.
You are the product.
I'm the product.
You are the product they are selling.
They are selling me.
Yes, exactly.
And my children.
Yes, and your children. Yes, and your children. Yes, and so whenever you don't, nobody reads the fine print when you sign up to any of those services. But what you do is that you are explicitly allowing those corporations to use your material to whatever purpose they want to. So, and they will create profiles of you,
yes.
and those profiles they will be sold to advertisement and marketing companies. They will end up in the archives of several secret service organizations of several countries. I'm sure about that. Yeah, I mean, it was even proven that this is happening already. Yeah, so so you are the product these companies are selling, and that's how they are making money. That's why you don't have to pay for any of their services. That's just a fact. Yeah. Apart from that,
yes.
If you're talking about pictures and videos of your children, everybody likes sweet children playing
yes.
on the beach
yes.
and whatever it is. Yeah.
In the house.
I totally get that. I totally get that. Yeah.
Yes.
But we all know. There is enough creeps out there. Yeah.
Yes.
And we don't want to make pictures of our children available to any creeps. Yeah, who do whatever unholy they want to do with those pictures.
And do they do?
Of course they do.
They do that.
Of course they do.
So you can go to the internet and find your children's photos that you yourself posted being used very badly out there.
If you dig deep enough, most likely, and if it's sweet children, yeah,
yes,
and they are showing lots of skins, probably taking pictures on the beaches somewhere, yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure if you dig deep enough, you will find it in unholy places, where you don't want them to be exposed.
And whom do they sell them to, so that they may make money themselves? Whom do they sell them to?
I don't know. I mean, this is a part I simply have no idea.
No
and
idea.
I don't want to dig into that.
Yes.
There is clearly some networks of people who share these pictures.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to be too explicit here, because this is YouTube, and so therefore the algorithm would then...
And for those that unknowingly did these things, and
yes.
With no intentions...
innocently.
Innocently, yes. Unknowingly and innocently did these things and exposed their children's lives or family lives out there, there is no condemnation in that.
No, there is no condemnation about that. I mean, it's clear enough why they did it.
Yes.
And I can understand that. Yet, what we should do is that we should really teach the people what they are doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Explain to them what the risks are, and so on and so forth. And even that, I had that. You know, I was talking to people about the example, would you go ahead and would pin your baby pictures on the next lamppost? And of course I would not. Why, how could you say anything like that? And then they would say, you are spoiling the fun I'm enjoying these pictures to share them with friends and family. You are spoiling that. I said, well, I mean, yeah, sorry if I'm spoiling the fun there. I just want to make you aware about what it means, and if you see that as that I have spoiled the fun, well then, I mean, I'm not even sorry about that. Maybe I would say I'm sorry, but I don't feel sorry about that if it makes people think what they are doing there. So, you know,
yeah,
that is something you should, yeah.
So this video serves to just educate. This is an educational video to just educate people that may not know that this information, these photos are taken out there, and to the detriment of your children's future, and you should avoid that. But those that, as we said, unknowingly do not feel condemned, do not feel condemned,
No.
but reduce exposure.
Basically, yes.
Reduce exposure.
Basically, yes. And just to wrap all that up, if we make anybody aware about the risks here, I'm happy about that. If you feel that we spoiled the fun, well, that unfortunately is part of it, because you have to be aware. If you are sharing, if you are sharing your pictures, you are giving these pictures and life stories, whatever it is, beautiful moments in your life, you're handing them over to a nameless conglomerate of companies who want to exploit that and to turn it into their money, into their profit. That's number one. Number two is, especially if it's about children, pictures from the beaches and your family homes and so on and so forth, there are creeps out there who do their unholy things with these pictures and share them in their circles. And the internet does not forget.
Exactly.
This is the next argument. The next argument is, if you're doing this because you want to make a coin out of your family life stories and all that kind of stuff, you're basically exploiting yourself and your family and your children. Think about that before you publish any further videos. And the last but not least really is, think about your own children. They have a right on their images, pictures, videos, life stories. They might not enjoy finding their own life stories in 10, 15, 20 years on the internet, being circulated and whatever. They might not like that. So they have a right on their own picture, and you should not violate that. So that's my take on that. My main arguments about that. So just to come back to the beginning of the video, if you asked me about something like this, the answer will be no,
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 no, and no.
And no.
It's that simple.
That's our take.
If you have another take on that, let us know in the comments. Of course, we are happy to get into that. And if you want to get us any deeper into that topic, just let us know. Happy to do so.
Sure.
And I guess that's it for today, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So everyone has a beautiful day, and see you in the next time.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.